This week, leaders from countries that are part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, will meet in Turkey. But relations between the U.S. and other NATO members have been strained under the Trump administration. Jen Sullivan reports on the rocky relationship and the likely topics of discussion at the summit.
President Donald Trump will head to Turkey this week for the NATO summit, where he'll meet with other leaders from North America and Europe. His trip comes as the U.S. wraps up monumental celebrations for America's 250th birthday.
For 2.5 centuries, our American republic has stood as the crowning achievement of human history.
NATO and many allies posting celebratory messages for the U.S. on July 4th. But the country's relations with NATO have been rocky under the Trump administration.
They want to see a U.S. that really commits to stay within the alliance and maybe a softening of the rhetoric.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte visited the White House last month to try to smooth over relations with the U.S. The president has repeatedly questioned whether the U.S. should remain part of the NATO alliance.
The big fear I have with NATO is we spend tremendous amounts of money with NATO. And I know we'll come to their rescue, but I just really do question whether or not they'll come to ours.
Likely topics of discussion this week: finalized peace talks between the U.S. and Iran, and the ongoing Russian war in Ukraine, and NATO's support for Ukraine.
Our partners, primarily the United States and our European partners, need to be more proactive in providing assistance with us.
Saturday, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Trump spoke on the phone for nearly 90 minutes. The Russian Foreign Ministry calling it businesslike and highly constructive. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.